Hi, my name is Drew, and you're watching ReadyBudgetGo. If we haven't met before, welcome. I'm so glad you found your way here. And if this isn't your first time here, welcome back. I'm glad to see you again. It's Monday night, so that is Ready Budget Game or game night for me. I've got 12 different savings games to play and about $100 to put toward one of my big goals. Ready? Let's go! We're going to get started with Loteria here in one sec, but before we do, I am going to introduce my new Superman binder. So if you watched last week's video, you know my last one gave up the ghost, so I got a new one, different colorway, different decal, same games. So let me set this aside and we'll get out Loteria. We're going to do regular Loteria this week. So this is the original game from, I think it was made in Mexico, maybe Spain. And if you haven't seen this before, it is a bingo type game. You use pictograms instead of numbers, and you're looking for a line of 4 instead of a line of 5. What I do is I keep drawing cards and marking off the spaces until I've got my line of 4, my Loteria, and then I save $1 for every chip that's down on the card. Let me get those chips here. So we'll bring these in, and oops, a little bit closer. There we go. I'm going to cut the deck, and let's see how we do this week. So first we've got El Cotoro, and I don't see that one. That's different. A lot of birds, but not that one. Okay, then La Maceta. Nope. Oh, yes, we do have that. Right over there. El Alacran, down here in the corner. Las Haras, I don't see those. El Barril, no. La Corona, we do have. Oh, and already, one more will give us a Loteria. La Botella, no. El Mundo, no. La Campana, one off. La Palma, no. Got a couple of trees, but not a palma. La Pera, no. El Musico, no. El Cantarito, yes, okay. So now we're working across the top. La Sandia, or La Sandia, no. La Bandera, no. La Rana, we do have. El Diablito, no. La Estrella, no. El Tambor, no. El Paraguas, no. El Apache, no. El Arpa, we do have. Okay, that opens up El Gallo for a Loteria. El Arbol, yes, down here. Yep. And there's La Calavera. So we got our Loteria. So there's $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9 going into Loteria this week. And that took, I don't know, about half the deck. That's not too bad. 9 is a good amount. So let me give this a quick shuffle. It was going to be 4 there for a minute if La Calavera had shown up sooner. So we got off to a ripping start. Okay, so $9 for Loteria. I'm going to clean up all of these chips. Set that to the side. Get out the Superman binder. 5, 7, and 9. So I do take out $100 each week. I take out 3 10s and 9 5s and 7 2s and 11 1s. So this is Loteria. Yep, okay. And then next we're going to do Sust. So let me just move this off to the side here. And Sust is a game of questions and answers where it's like state your preference. And I do $2 for answer A or option A, $3 for option B, and $5 for option C. So let's see what this one says. It says, which do I find most comfortable? A, soft mattresses, B, firm mattresses, or C, hammocks. Definitely a firm mattress. I would sleep on a bed of stone if I could. So that is me. I do not enjoy hammocks. Okay, so that is going to be $3. And soft mattresses, the man-eating mattresses, no. Okay, so, oh, that should have been a check. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay. What do I think about 3D movies? A, they're better than normal movies. B, they're worse than normal movies. Or C, I've never seen a 3D movie. Well, I have seen a 3D movie. It was in IMAX, and I didn't love it. Not because of the movie, I just didn't love the 3D experience. So I am going to say option B again. They are worse than normal movies. So I'll put away the marker and I will save $5 total, or $6 total. So I'm going to put away the 2 and take out a 5. So that is going to go into sus, and that card's done, so I'm going to put that to the side. Sust is commercially available. I bought it at a thrift store, I think. It is from the UK, we now know. Okay, the name game is up next. This one is where you're trying to guess the identity of a famous person, and you get up to 5 clues to do it. I save $1 per clue, and if I still can't identify the famous person after the 5th clue, then I save $10. So let me get out a card here. I'm trying to see. Maybe I haven't used this one. Okay, so this goes face down on top. There we go. And then we flip like so. Okay. Band. Well, okay, that could be just about anybody. I will say it's John Lennon. Okay, well, apparently it's not John Lennon. Let's say it's Paul McCartney. Okay, then it must be the Beatles. I was thinking it was going to be one person, but I guess this is going to be the whole band. So I'm sure the next 2 clues are George Harrison and Ringo Starr. Oh, drummer. Okay, well, that changes things. Okay, so that's Ringo Starr. So that would be the 4th clue. The Beatles. Okay. They threw me off here. All right, so I got it on the 4th clue, which was drummer. So that is going to be $4. And I think I'm just going to do that one today. Excuse me, we've got an expensive, well, not an expensive necessarily, but we've got one of the higher die values for Dicefecta coming up. So I'm just going to do the $4 this week just for the one. If I'd gotten it in 1 or 2 guesses, I would have done a second one, but this is good for the name game. So let's put that into envelope number 3. Okay, next up is going to be Dicetropolis, so I will need to get out a few things for that. Let me do a little bit of KP here first. So the name game goes away, and I hope I put that back in the right spot. I did. Okay. Name game goes away, and we need to get out the dice tower. And we also are going to need all 6 colored dice because we're playing Keno this week. Keno is the 5th game in Dicetropolis, and we're playing all game 5s this week. So we'll set this up here. Get out the game card and a dry erase marker. If you haven't seen Dicetropolis before, you can buy this from me on my Etsy shop, and if you buy the physical version, it will come on glossy print, so you can use a dry erase marker, and it will wipe right off with a cloth or even your finger. So, okay, in Keno, we need to select, excuse me, 1 number for each color. It doesn't have, I mean, you can pick all the same number if you want, and in fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Excuse me, I am going to pick all 4s. So, and I'm going to say if we hit, we will save $3, and if we miss, we will save $1. So let's get out the rainbow dice here, because we're going to roll all 6 of them. And actually, I am going to throw in a hinky one. I'm going to change the green to a 6. Now, the dice are not telling us which value we're going to save. It's only whether we get that, whether we roll that number or not. So let's give them a roll and let's see how we do. Okay, that's funny. All right, so red was a 2, so that is a miss. Orange was a 4, so that's a hit. Yellow was a 1, so that is a miss. Green is a 4, and I changed that to a 6, so that is a miss. And blue is a 5, so that's a miss. And purple is a 5, so that is a miss. So we had 1 hit and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 misses. So $5 plus $3 is going to be $8 for Keno this week. So I'm just going to wipe this off. And we'll put $8 into Dicetropolis. Just need to gather up all these dice, put them back in their little bag here. Whoops. Okay. 5, 7, and 8. Put that in the back. Put the money in the envelope, and then we'll move on to Dicetropolis 2. All right. So Dicetropolis 2 this week, we're going to play Grid 9. Now, this is one of my favorite games in Dicetropolis. Sorry for the edit, but the fire alarm in my building went off, and as soon as I stepped outside my door, it shut off. So I thought, well, do I go outside? Do I not? I kind of gave it a couple minutes, and it didn't go back on. So I'm going to assume it was a false alarm, and I was about halfway through this game, but I'm just going to re-edit it or edit it and do it over again. So this is Grid 9. This is one of the games in Dicetropolis 2. It is my favorite game, or well, one of my favorites in Dicetropolis 2. And in this one, it is a game where you roll a d4 9 times and you fill in the numbers here. You can do them in order, you can go randomly, however you want to do it. And then you total them up and you save accordingly. So I'm going to populate all the numbers and then we'll talk about how we save. So let's give it a roll and see how we do. Okay, so first up we've got a 3, and I think I'm going to go in order and we'll see how that goes for me. And a 2, a 4, another 4, a 2, another 2, 4, 4, and 1. Okay, so once you've got all of your numbers populated, then what you do is you add up all of the columns and all of the rows. So this is going to be 3 plus 4 plus 4, which is 11. We've got 2 plus 2 plus 4, which is 8. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. 3 plus 2 plus 4 is 9. 4 plus 2 plus 2 is 8. And 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9. So now what you do is you cross out all of the ones that are duplicates. So we've got 8 twice and we've got 9 twice. So that leaves us with 11 and 7. So high budget says compare the totals and cross out the numbers in the white boxes that appear more than once, which we just did. Add together any unique numbers and save that amount. So we would add together 11 and 7 and save $18. So that is high budget. Moderate budget says save the amount of the highest unique total, so that would be $11. And low budget says save $1 for each unique total, which would be $2. So I'm going to go the medium budget route, and I'm going to save $11 into Dicetropolis 2, just because we had a couple low ones earlier, and even though Dicefecta is coming, it probably won't be that expensive. I've got 3 10s here, so I'm going to use one and save $11 into Dicetropolis 2. Okay, and just like with any savings game, if you get a total and you think, ooh, I'm not saving that, just add the digits together or make it work for your budget. So let's get out the binder and do $11 into Dicetropolis 2. Okay. And next we'll do Dicequarium, and this week it's Race and Crustaceans. So let me put this away. Whoops. Or just, throw it on the floor, whatever. Luckily I managed to catch it. Okay. So in Race and Crustaceans, which is part of Dicequarium, it says roll 3d6 dice and record the numbers in the boxes for that game. If all 3 dice show a different number, save the highest number. If any 2 match, save the value of those 2 dice. For example, 3 and 3 equals 6. If all 3 match, save the total of all 3 dice. So let me get 3 dice out here. Oops. I'm going to use the little aqua-colored ones. I've got my pen here. So I'll do at least 2 games and maybe more depending on how the numbers roll. So let's see what we get. Okay, so we've got a 5, a 4, and a 1. So for this game, we're going to save $5 because that is the highest amount. Of course, if you'd rather play at low budget, save the lowest amount. Make it work for you, like I was saying. Roll number 2, a 5, a 3, and a 1. So 5 again, because 5 stands alone. And I'm going to go one more time. A 4, and a 3. So now we've got a pair. So we're going to save the pair of 4s for $8. So that's going to be $18 going into racing crustaceans. Whew, rich, but that's okay. It just means we're getting closer to our goal. And I don't use IOUs because this is all prop money. I keep the money in the bank account because I just transfer it directly to my high yield savings account. And if I end up going over the $100 that I've allocated, I'll just kick in a few extra dollars. It's no big deal. Okay, so $18 for Dice Aquarium. So let me put this back here. 10, 15, 17, 18. Okay. And then up next is going to be Fruit Machine. And Fruit Machine is another dice game. This one is available on my Etsy shop, as is Dicetropolis, Dicetropolis 2, and Dice Aquarium. When you buy this game, you get two A5 size dashboards. You've got one with the default rules and one where you can make your own. I always use the default rules. Let me just make sure there's not too much glare here. And then I need my Fruit Machine dice. Here they are. So you get 3 dice. And each one has all the different symbols: the diamond, cherry, watermelon, orange, plum, and lemon. And so I'm going to give them a roll. We'll do the Drew shake here. Okay, we've got a diamond and we've got 2 lemons. So I'm going to set aside the lemons, and then you've got up to 3 more rolls to make 3 of a kind. 1, orange, 2, and we got it. Okay, so we got the lemons once. I'm going to go again. A cherry, a watermelon, and a diamond. I'm going to go for the watermelon. I feel like I almost never get to go for the watermelon, so I'm going to give it a try. Okay, that was the first re-roll, and we got 1 more, so 2 more rolls. There's 1, diamond. Last roll, watermelon. Okay, terrific. So that's $7. So I think I'm going to stop there. We got 3 watermelons for $7 and 3 lemons for $4. So 11 total. That's a good amount. And I usually don't get trips or 3 of a kind back to back, but this time I did, so the dice were hot for me tonight. And this way, if you like the slot machines like I do, you can play them without risking losing your shirt, because any of the money that you end up losing, you just save, right? Okay. And if you haven't watched one of my game nights before, I will condense all of these envelopes at the end. So for now, I'm just kind of shoving money in there however it goes. And when we get to the end, I will go through and consolidate all of the bills as best I can. All right, Quicks is next. And that's one of the benefits of using prop money, is you can do kind of the instant condensing. You don't have to go to the bank and get specific denominations and make sure it's the right amount and everything. You just do it when you do it. All right, more light here. And I'm going to get out the Quicks dice. Quicks is similar to Shut the Box if you haven't played it before. I use completely different rules as a savings game than they have in the printed rules. This game is commercially available. I did purchase it at a game store. You can find it just about anywhere, or you can make your own even. All right, so I'm going to roll all 3 dice, and I need a pen. There's a pen. No, not that. Well, I'll need that later, but I need like the Tombow. There it is. Okay. So we have got 5 and we've got 8. So I'm going to take the 5. I'm going to leave the 8. And if you haven't seen me play this before and you don't know the rules that I use, I explain them in most of my videos, or you can just keep watching and you'll probably pick it up from context. Okay, we've got 3, we've got 6, and we've got 5. So the 5's already gone. I'm going to take the 3. I'm going to leave the 6. Whoops. So 2 and 5. So we're going to take the 2. We need some bigger numbers here. 3, 3, and 4. So all we have is 6 and 7. So I'm going to take the 6 and leave the 7. I really need to roll like a 5, a 6, any of those. 3, 3, and 1. Okay, so we got 4 and we've got 6. So I'm going to take the 4. And if I don't start rolling some bigger numbers, I am going to be out. 6. Okay, so we've got 3, we've got 7, and we've got 8. I'm going to take the 8, leave the 7. Goodness. Oops, I'm not counting that. Well, same number anyway. Okay, so we've got 7 6, and 3. So all we can do is the 7. I don't think I've ever had it like this before, where I have the 4 largest numbers left to go. Oh, good, finally. Okay, so we've got 8 and 12. I'm going to take the 12 because it's all I can do. How about a 6, a 5, and a 4? That would be fabulous. No. Okay, well, we got the 6 and the 4 anyway, so that's 10. Need 9 and 11, because the only other ones we have are 6 and 8. Okay. 9 or 11. No, because you can't use all 3 dice. So I've got 8, 7, and 3. So I'm out. So I'm going to be stuck with 9 and 11 or 20, but I add the digits together, and that is $2. So I'm going to play one more time. I will put the red die away and take out the yellow die. Of course, you don't have to do it. It's just what I do. And hopefully you can see the numbers on the yellow die. And if not, hopefully you trust me that I am honest with what I roll. Okay. 3, 3, and 1. So we've got 4 and we've got 6. So I'm going to take the 4. 5, 3, and 2. So that is 5, 8, and 7. So we can take the 5, leave the 8 and 7. Excuse me. Okay, 1, 2, and 4. So we've got 3, 5, and 6. So I'm going to take the 3. I'll still leave the 6. 5's already gone. 5, 4, and 2. So we've got 9, 7, and 6. I'm going to take the 9. We'll leave the 7 and the 6 for now. 4, 8, and 6. So 4's already gone. So I'm going to take the 8. 8 and 9. I'm out. Oh well. Should have taken that 6. I thought about it, and I thought, no, I've been rolling low numbers. Well, okay, so we've got 12, plus 11 is 23, plus 10 is 33, plus 7 is 40, 46, 48. Add the 4 and the 8 is 12, and I'm going to add the 1 and the 2 and save $3. Normally, I would save the 12. I usually save that amount if it's 12 or less, but I want to make sure I have enough for Dice Fecta later. So I'm going to save $5 for clicks this week, and it's my own dang fault for going again anyway, so I have to censor my potty mouth here on YouTube. Okay. $5 and the scorecard. Of course, not in the right order. Let me fix that. That will go into the Quicks envelope. And then we're on to Tucano. Now, there's cards in here because I took them out. There, if you saw last week's, it was nuts. And there's 4 of each toucan in there, and I took out 2 of them because I'm like, I'm not doing that again. So, let me get out Tucano. If you haven't seen this before, I will explain as I deal the cards. This game is also commercially available. You can buy it at specialty game stores, probably. I bought it at one in Portland, Oregon. Or you maybe will be able to find it online. I'm sure you can find it online. But I bought it when I was on a trip down to Oregon. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle these cards a few times because after I removed the toucans, I kind of, inserted them randomly, and I want to make sure that I get a good actual mix here. So these cards are thinner than normal cards, which makes them kind of a challenge to handle when you have big meat hooks like I do and you're used to regular American-sized playing cards, but that's okay. I'm sure this game came from somewhere in Europe, Switzerland, I think, but I don't really know. All right, so that's enough. I'm going to cut them, and I'm going to deal out 6 cards in a specific pattern. Move this to the side. Okay, so there's 1. Oh, we got the toucan. Okay. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Well, this card means you swap the first and the last, but it's the same card, so that does me nothing. So I'm just going to turn that over. Okay, done with this. And so now I'm going to save according to what each card says. So some of these cards, as you'll notice, have more spots in them than others. Then there's ones that look like this. So I save according to that card value for the spot that it's in. So this is in the first spot, so that's going to be 3. This is in the third spot, but there's nothing here for 3. It's got 1 and 2. So that is a dead card, so I'm going to flip that over. Fourth is 20. Fifth, I'll come back to. And the sixth, there's nothing here for 6, so I'm going to flip that over. Okay, so far we've got 3, 20, and then on these, the left is if it's in an even numbered position, the right is if it's in an odd numbered position. This is in an odd numbered position. This is position 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be 1. So we've got 21 plus 3 is 24. And I'm going to add the 2 and the 4 and save $6. So that is Tucano. Much better than last week. 1 toucan I can handle. 2 toucans, okay. But I had like 5 or 6. It was just bananas. Because some of them, it's like draw another card. So I draw another card and get another toucan. And then the rainbow showed up, which is like the super wild card. So give it one quick shuffle here and then put it away. And I will save $6 into Tucano. 5 and 6. And then up next is going to be the moment we've all been waiting for. It is Dicefecta. So I will get set up for that, and then we will take on the dice and see how we do this week. Okay, it's time for Dicefecta, and we're playing D10 Dicefecta this week. So I've got a D10 die here. If you purchase this from me on my Etsy shop and you get the physical version, you will get the glossy coated cards. Again, dry erase marker works best. And you can also get the dice that correspond with the different cards. There are 8 cards in total, plus an instruction card and a dashboard. And the dice will match the color of the game you're playing. So D10 Dicefecta is green, D6 is blue, D8 is purple, and D12 is red. But we're playing D10 this week, so I am going to roll this die and start marking off the numbers. So we rolled a 1, so that takes care of that. And we're going to keep going until we fill up one of these 4 sections. 7, 8, 3, 4, everything's down to 2, 6, okay, 10 will give us a Dicefecta, got 3, we already have that, 2, okay, 9 will give us a Dicefecta, 2 again, and there's 9, so we've got Dicefecta right here. So there's 3 different ways to save for this. The high budget way is you save all the amounts in here. So you add these up and you save that amount. So that would be 8 plus 2 is 10, 9 is 19, 4 is 23. $23, that's high budget. Medium budget is you save $1 for every number that you've marked off on the entire card. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. So medium budget is 12, high is 23. Low budget is you save the amount of your last die roll that gave you the Dicefecta, and that would be 9. So I'm going to play... I'm going to go low budget, and I'm going to save the 9, because that's still a good amount. If the last number that I rolled was like a 2, I probably would have gone medium budget, but I don't want to get too carried away because I still got 2 more games, and one of them can be a doozy. So... clear this off. And it just goes to show, you can play with higher dice values and still save a reasonable amount. You don't have to necessarily put away the whole bank if you play with a D10, a D12, a D20, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to put this away. And I'll put this away. And this is going to go into the Dicefecta envelope. 5, 7, 8, 9. Yep, okay. Next up, we're going to do left, center, right. So this game recently came back after being on hiatus. And left, center, right is another dice game. It is commercially available. And mostly I'm just talking to fill the air while I look for the dice. There they are. Okay. So I've explained how I play this in the past. I'll do a real quick version. So you can see here that 2 of these dice say right and 1 says left. I start with 3 chips out of this whole stack. Bring that over here. So I start with 3 chips, and if I rolled like this, I would put 2 to the right, 1 to the left. There is a star on here. That would be the center. So if I rolled left, right, and center, I would have 1 in each of these. 3 of each die have, or 3 faces of each die are this circle. And if I roll one of those, I take another chip into my pot. And I go until I'm done with the chips in front of me, until I have no more in front of me, or until this whole stack is gone. And then I save the amount that is the highest stack. So let's give it a roll and see how this week goes. Okay, so we got 1 in the center, 1 on the left, and 1 more. Make sure everything's in frame here. I'm reaching because I'm left-handed, so I'll try to roll these right-handed and we'll see how that goes. Okay, 1 to the left, 1 to the center, and 1 more. Same thing I just rolled. Okay. 3 more chips. 1 to the right, 1 to the left, and 1 more chip. 1 to the center, and 2 more chips. Sometimes I get all the way to the end of the stack, and sometimes it's over in 1 roll. 2 in the center, 1 more chip. Whoops, 1 more chip. Okay, 1 in the center, 2 more chips. Center's kind of running away with it here. 2 to the right, 1 more chip. Okay, this is going to be it. So 2 to the left and 1 to the right. So let's count up the totals here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the center. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the right. So center wins for $6. So $6 is what I'm going to save into this game for this week. Get the tin back out. This game, if you purchase it at a game store, will come with the chips, but I don't use these just because they're dark and my desk mat is dark, so I use the bigger white chips. Easier to see. Okay. So we're done with those, and we're done with the dice tower. Thank you, dice tower. There we go. Last game is going to be flip 7. Oh, except I've got to put money away. 5 and 6. And we've got $5, $6, $7 left for flip 7. So we'll see if we can stay within that or if we end up going over. That is definitely going to impact the strategy here a little bit. So flip 7 is another game that's commercially available. Okay, well, we have a poltergeist or something. So fire alarm again. Jumped up, put on my shoes, grabbed my coat, and it stopped going off. So I don't know. Hopefully we don't keep that up all night. I'm recording this on Friday night, and I really want to get some sleep eventually. But for now, let's play some flip 7. So, that is not how you play flip 7. So in this game, again, commercially available, I have repurposed it for a savings challenge game, so I play it differently than it would be played if you were playing with other people. And what I do is I flip over at least 3 cards, sometimes more, and save accordingly. So I shouldn't say each. So there are cards in the deck that correspond with the number of other cards like that there are. So there are 3 3s, there's 9 9s, 7 7s, you get the picture. There are also special cards. This is a multiplier, this is freeze, there's second chances, there is flip 3 that mandates that you flip 3 more cards. So the rules are you have to flip at least 3, up to 7, and you are trying to not duplicate the value of the cards. So higher value cards like 11s and 12s add great points to your score, but they also up the chances that you are going to duplicate the value, and if you do, you lose. So I try very hard not to lose because there's a big old penalty for that. So I'm going to cut the deck and hopefully not go bust. So let's see how we do this week. 10, not great. A 2, that's fantastic. And a 9. Okay, so I've dealt 3 cards. The options are to stop here or to keep going and try to improve my score. I'm going to keep going. I don't have any 11s and I don't have any 12s, and I have a 2, and I've said this before, and then I was shocked to get the other one, but I'm probably not going to get the other 2. So 11. Okay, and now I have the option to stop after every single card, and I think I am going to stop here. So I'm going to add up the total and then save that amount, and I do it the low budget way. So 11 plus 9 is 20, 32, 3 plus 2 is 5. So it's $5, so I'm going to put this up right here. But I still have $2 more, and that means I'm going to play it again. And I may very well go over, and if so, that's just fine. I will take out a few more bucks. It's rare that I get to play this game twice, particularly because now it's at the end. It used to be in envelope 7, but envelope 7 is now occupied by Fruit Machine. So, and I don't want to put Fruit Machine last. Although it probably makes sense for it to be last, because that can be a real low budget saver, but I always want to make sure I have enough room for, Fruit Machine, so. Whereas this game, even if I didn't get to it, it's okay, because I used to play this a lot, and I play it less often now. Okay, so I've cut the deck, and let's see how we do this. Ooh, second chance. That's valuable. That's valuable. A 4, that's great. 9, still good. And a 12. Well, I have the second chance, so I'm going to keep going until I burn that second chance. 7, okay, we're still alive. 8, still alive. 10, still alive. Oh my goodness, this is potentially the last card. And 8, okay, so that kills our second chance. And I'm going to stop. I am not going to go again. But getting 6 out is really good. So let's see how much this is going to save. So we've got 18, 25, 37, 46, 50. So 5 plus 0 is 5, so I need $3 more. So I'll be saving 103 this week into my game night binder for ReadyBudgetGame. So I'm just going to grab 1, 2, 3. These don't have the stickers on them, so. And I will do all of the condensing here. In fact, because I just had to restart the video, I'm not going to break it again. I will give this a quick shuffle here. And then I will just go right into the condensing so you can see how I reset the cash tray and everything every week. So a little bonus this week. How's that? Okay. So we'll get this out. We'll put the $10 into envelope number 12, which is flip 7. And this isn't the dashboard. This is just the instruction book that came with the game, right? Okay. So I'll take these out. And then this big pile of play money here, or prop money. So there's the hundreds. Here's all the 50s. Whoops. Just making it rain. And then the 20s. Okay, now I only have 5 slots in this cash tray. This is actually for sunglasses, but I use it as a cash tray. Oops, there's another 20. So for the 10s and the 5s, they go into the same cash tray. 5s in the front, 10s in the 5s in the front, 10s in the back, and the 10s in the back are the ones with the stickers. So I pull from the front for 5s and from the back for 10s. And then the same thing for the 2s and the 1s. 2s in the back have stickers. 1s in the front would have stickers, but I'm out. So, but I'll get some of them back. Okay, so that is how I reset the cash tray, and now let's go into the binder and consolidate what we can consolidate. Okay, so Loteria has 200, 300, 50, 70, 80, 5, 87, 89, 92. So I'm going to take the 10, the 5, the 2 2s, and the 1s, the 1, and exchange that for a 20. So I already got one of my 1s back with the sticker on it. So we still have 392. And now, envelope number 2, which is sussed, has 100, 50, 70, 80, 5, 90, 92, 93. So 10 and 2 5s for a 20. 10 in the back, 5s in the front, and we'll take out our 20. So still 193. Not a bad saver for just giving my opinion every week, right? Okay. The name game has 50, 70, 90, 95, 97, 99, 100, and 2. So all of this business is going to go back in. 5 2s and a 1. And we'll have 102. So that condenses that nicely. Dicetropolis has 100, 200, 300, 400, 450, 70, 80, 5, 7, 8, 9. So all I can do here is swap 2 1s for a 2. But it's better than nothing. And hopefully next week I'll be able to get a 500 placeholder and really condense that envelope. Okay, Dicetropolis 2 has 100 and 50, 60, 72. So I'm going to put back 22, 2 10s and 2 2s, 2 10s and 2 1s for a 20 and a 2. So 22. I knew what I meant. And I'm sure you did too. Okay. That goes in there. Dicequarium has 100, 50, 60, 5, 7, 9, 71. So we'll take the 10, the 5, the 2 2s, and the 1, and get out of 20. So still 171 in Dicequarium. Fruit Machine has 100, 50, 60, 71. So 2 10s for a 20. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, Quicks has scorecard. I always grab that out. 100, 200, 300, 400, 50, 5, 57. So nothing we can do there. Tucano has 100, 50, 5, 57, 58. So nothing there. Okay. Dicefecta has 100, 200, 10, 15, 17, 18, 19, 22. So the 10, the 5, the 2, and the 3 1s for 20. Getting all those 1s back. And then next we'll consolidate left, center, right. And that has 20, 40, 5, 46. Okay, so we won't condense it because there's nothing we can do. Just make sure everything has a sticker on it. So much easier to sort when they do. Okay, and then last but certainly not least is flip 7. And that has 50, 5, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need a 5 and a 1. And then the 5 and all these other ones are going to go back for a 10. So I'm going to put these over here because they don't have a sticker. 65, 66. All right. So that is it for the condensing and for game night for Ready Budget Game. Thank you so much for tuning in and for watching all the way to the end. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me and it really helps the channel. If you enjoyed tonight's video, please leave me a thumbs up, drop a comment down below so I know you were here. I will be back tomorrow for the Batman binder, which is savings challenges, and then on Wednesday for My Money Relaunch, where I talk about all the things that I did once I got out of debt to get a handle on managing my money. And then Friday will be the weekly reel where I go over all my budget numbers. And then I'll be right back here next Monday for more games. And until I see you then, thank you so much for watching and take care.